All right. Good evening, everyone. We're back. I know it's been like so long. As anyone who has forgotten about this, my name is Bernard Cana. I'm the editor photographer. The website knows the Photo Pit. Over to my right over there is my friend Danny Mazzeo, who's the editor photographer of The Threshold. And if you look below us, we have a very special surprise guest that decided to come jump and hop on for a few minutes. I introduce everyone to Mr. Jonathan Slye of the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. How are you doing, Jonathan?
I clearly I have some energy left in the tank after my soapbox to kick off this live broadcast.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
And thank you for hopping on. We appreciate it.
Absolutely happy to do it. There's a lot to now that the lineup's out there. There's a lot to digest and discuss over the coming weeks. So excited to jump in with you.
Let's kind of excuse me. Let's kind of jump in there. So because I'm sure there are people who are watching who have questions. I have questions. I'm sure Danny has questions too. So let's hit up with the lineup announcement, right? So we got the full lineup out there now on the website. For those who haven't seen, the website's back up again because I was just looking at it.
Oh, it is.
Yes, it was. Yeah, last I looked at it, it was up. I'm gonna refresh it again. It's still up. So for those who don't know, it's blueridgerockfest.com/lineup. You can find it there. So question first. So let's talk about the ones that you talked about the early announcement today with Ginger. So Ginger had to unfortunately drop because we know they have stuff going on, unfortunately, in the UK. And a replacement is coming, is what you said, correct?
Correct. Almost had it in time. I bought a few extra hours. We were supposed to go up at noon. We went up, I think, about 7, a little before 7, and I was hoping that we'd be able to announce the replacement act for Ginger because we're very close. It just didn't happen in time, and I was not on social media because I've basically been on the phone the last 96 hours nonstop with agents and everything, getting everything wrapped up. So I heard that they were storming the castle and storming the gates begging for the lineup. And so I was like, all right, we've delayed them 7 hours. We're not doing it anymore. We will go up and we will release the replacement for Ginger as soon as we can. And thus creates the lineup and the full lineup announcement, and then from there the website crashes for 90 minutes. And I see that though it's up, I need to check in on the web developer group chat because the daily lineups are not showing like they're supposed to. But I mean, I can answer the daily lineups if you want.
So we do have a daily lineup that is supposed to be on the site, but they're just not there as of yet.
Correct. That's correct. Right. The daily lineup should be there. You two are the boss, but I'm happy to answer any daily lineup questions that might come in because the daily lineups are set.
So let's talk about the daily lineups for a second. Can you give us a kind of a quick overview of at least of what we're looking at for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I'd say let's hit the headliners and maybe the first few bands down who are in that main status so people know like who's doing what.
Absolutely. 1 second, Bernard. I'm pulling it up in front of me.
Take your time.
Okay. So you want the first couple of lines or so for each of the days?
Yeah, let's do that. I think the people here would love to be able to hear those.
Beautiful. So Thursday is closed out by Ghost. It's the first time they have ever headlined a U.S. festival, and it's their exclusive U.S. festival performance. They played arenas earlier this year, and then their album has been the best-selling rock album actually of the year. So I know it's a new one, trying to build a new headliner. They've had 2 #1 singles on rock radio already this year, so they close out Thursday. Then in addition on Thursday is Falling in Reverse, Ice Cube, Stone Temple Pilots, Jelly Roll, Anthrax, In This Moment, Daughtry, Nothing More, Sleeping with Sirens, Pop Evil, Shadows Fall, the band I'm working on for Ginger's replacement, Bad Wolves, Spirit Box, Kitty, We Came as Romans. I'll stop there.
So what you're saying is the likelihood of being able to function after the first day is already nil.
Yes.
Yes,
that's
but
it's
worse. Because the thing is that I do want to share at some point, explain is the way we did the stages this year. We're doing free monsters again, and it's going to be important because we're setting it up where people don't have the overlap as much. Like you're designed to be booked from 12 to 12, basically, because the curfew is a little bit different at VIR, gives us more flexibility. So, and it's, hey, I don't like XYZ artists. Okay, no problem. There's 3 other stages that, or whatever, 2 or 3 other stages that you can go to that have the artists that you're looking for. But that is Thursday.
Okay, that is some killer lineup for Thursday. I've already heard as you're running through at least like 10 of those bands I want to go see now. So, all right. What do we got on Friday?
Friday we have, and I was in the web development group chat as well. Friday we have Mudvayne, A Day to Remember, Alice Cooper, Gojira, Hailstorm, Theory of a Dead Man, Under Oath, Seven Dust, Down, Hatebreed, Candlebox, Insane Clown Posse, Bad Flower, Electric Callboy, In Flames, All That Remains, Bad Omens, Buckcherry, Slaughter to Prevail, Whitechapel, the list, Memphis Mayfire, list goes on. I feel so
you do
weird.
this with a straight face, knowing that this caliber lineup. I mean, we're on day 2, and I'm like, I can't even wrap my head around all of these bands without getting so beyond giddy. Like, have you just been staring at this long enough that? Like,
I've been staring at it, not pleasantly, because putting together this poster is very rough, which is why they're actually, I think I can say all this. So this is a big piece, and this is the first, no one knows about this. We didn't release a poster. I don't know if anyone realized that, but we didn't release a poster.
I did. I called it out.
Yeah, we have not released a poster because of challenges of getting a poster approved because of the volume of acts and some of the different billing pieces. So that is very tricky, because if I'm going to be entirely transparent, last year's poster with a smaller social media following, etc., reached just from our post, not including all the bands that posted it and all the PR companies, media publications. We reached like 4 or 5 million, maybe 6 million on our reach. And this is a huge blow. While ticket sales are higher than average, it's a huge blow to not be able to release the poster, because that's the number one thing that people are seeing to be able to spread the word. So as of right now, I know we have a lot of our diehards, but this kind of might be the best little kept secret for the moment. We're going to be relying on fans to get the word out as much as we can, because we are pigeonholed for a moment. So
all right,
that's why there's no poster.
All right, fair enough. That's the thing I actually called out right away. I'm like, where's the ad mat? Where's this, lineup, so we could literally just see it all from there. Yes. But understand, all right, we know what's happened. So that's good. It's bad news, but we'll get there. So, all right, what about Saturday?
Before we jump to Saturday, I'm good. I know. I got to be able to jump in.
That's fine.
Just thank you for being honest and transparent and upfront and trying to get this stuff in front of us and the fans. I mean, it's just knowing the little bit that I know about how things work behind the scenes, and you just being upfront with it and being out here, even joining us, 3-4 weeks without sleep at this point. It's just huge, man. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Danny. It seems that some people don't appreciate the transparency, but I don't know what else. I still get to write the posts, even though my roles changed because I'm doing marketing. I have to get a bunch of things improved, but I just feel like transparency is the only way to go. And I know that's become more and more popular elsewhere as well. But I just think that just being straightforward to fans and letting them know what's happening. And I think the other piece is, even just to say, like, from our clout, from our, financial capacities to other things, like what makes Blue Ridge the only event that this company effectively is running. So we just don't have, while now I want to correct that before someone's like, whoa, okay, our festival director also runs a variety of major festivals. He is a contractor. That's basically what we went to, is there's not really a full-time staff anymore. There is contractors. And so we went out and recruited major players that are, hey, I'm doing 10 festivals a year and delivering at a high level. I've done more festivals than shows I've ever booked in my life, like getting really experienced. That's how a lot of the biggest festivals operate and function, is they have a team. So we're grabbing, whether it's companies or it's contractors, because I think it's another thing that's missed, is that a lot of companies, outside companies, run different departments. So we're not, in terms of, like, let's just say camping, there was not the full-time staff of Blue Ridge. There was a big full-time staff last year, which is not the case this year. That staff was not running the camping last year. That was an outside company. So this year now, we've gone in and not just grabbed some of the biggest companies and contractors in rock, but in music period. So Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, Electric Forest, a lot of these bigger festivals, that, we're mentioning in our ADA company, they do Innings Festival and Bonnaroo and Lollapalooza and I think Governor's Ball, and the list goes on and on. We're really going and saying, hey, we're giving you trying to get the cream of the crop. That was a big decision to be able to do that. So anyways, I bounced into that, but it's just something that, transparency, I think, is really, really important. And we're trying to lay everything out and introduce as now the lineup is out, take time to introduce, hey, here's the festival director. Hey, here's the site operations director. Hey, here's your camping company. Here's your ADA company, et cetera, and allow people to familiarize themselves with it and also make more information readily available, such as the new website now is up and it has an ADA page that's fully specific that we've worked with our ADA company to make sure that those, that we're providing that services and information to folks.
Okay. That's a lot to pull in, a lot to absorb all at once. I'll say this. I've always appreciated the transparency that you have provided over the past weeks, months, even last year, with regard to the festival and things that have happened and things that you've addressed. And I think, for me personally, if there are people who can appreciate that, to me, it's block and move on. Focus on what you're doing, because what you're doing is working, and keep everything going and smooth, because there's always going to be people that are going to criticize about everything, no matter what you do. That's just the way I live my life.
Yes.
So in any case,
I have a real-time update real fast. We are,
sure.
Since I'm in that group chat, they apparently, when the website crashed, the daily lineup filter crashed. So I don't know anything about any of this stuff. Just to be clear, I'm not a web developer, but they are rebuilding it now. So that way it should be back up shortly.
All right. So people keep your eye out for that. It'll be there. We'll get there.
Yes.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Let's see here. So Saturday. We know Saturday's a big day. We know who's headlining. Slipknot's supposed to be the headliner on Saturday. So who else do we have on the rest of the day?
Slipknot Saturday. Then we have I Prevail. This is a really unique special booking. People learn more about that soon, but they are closing a main stage, and this is a huge step. Blue Ridge is known, for those that haven't been here, we have a lot of synergy with I Prevail, and the crowds are pretty legendary. We've had some crazy shows with I Prevail, and they have just continued to soar. I know new music is on the way, long-awaited new album, and we're believing in that next headliner and who fans really, really love. And so that is they are also on Saturday. Tenacious D, Skillet, Pierce the Veil, Pennywise, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, Black Veil Brides, Starset, Guar, Thrice, Apocalyptica, Municipal Waste, God Forbid, Queensryche, Mushroom Head, From Ashes to New, Adelita's Way, Fit for a King, Lacuna Coil, Power Man 5000. List goes on. That is your Saturday.
Wow.
Epic.
So
Straight epic.
Danny, I already see a problem. If I got approved for media to come cover this festival, I don't know how I'm going to find all those bands all at once. So that's just crazy. That is a great solid day. I think Saturday is huge. Yeah, that is a fantastic day. Yeah. So should I share with Jonathan the whole I Prevail story from last year?
Go for it.
So Jonathan, if you didn't know, the big reason I came to cover Blue Ridge in 2021 last year was specifically because of I Prevail. Because I had missed them on their last tour through, and I was not in any way, shape, or form ever going to miss that chance to actually get the chance to photograph them. So that was like my special, had to my heart, closeness band of why I came to the fest last year, and that was just epic. That set was epic. That's all I'm going to say with that. That was fantastic.
It absolutely was. I heard amazing things, and they're doing it much bigger this time. So it's going to be can't miss.
That's all I'm going to say there. All right, and then we have Sunday, and Sunday is Disturbed as the headliner. So who else follows from there?
Disturbed, Three Doors Down, Lamb of God, Seether, Kill Switch Engage, Hollywood Undead, Saliva, with the reunion of Josie Scott over, I think, a decade or so in the making, the original singer. Then the big reunion, ? Can't reveal yet. There was no chance it was going to be up for the poster. So that was, we were locked in that we had to do question marks on that one if we wanted that reunion to happen. Then Newfound Glory, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Sticks and Stones as well, their album. And then we've got Knock Loose and Wage War, We've got Grandson, Amity Affliction, Silverstein, Fever 333, Baroness, John 5, Hoobastank, Story of the Year, The Devil Wears Prada, doing the Zombie EP. I'm trying to highlight some of the special sets. Demon Hunter, Enter Shikari, Suicide Silence, Nonpoint, big favorite for a lot of folks. That is Sunday.
Wow.
And somehow in the middle of all of this, there will be acoustic sets from many of these bands, meet and greets.
Yep.
Any other types of amazing experiences that can be highlighted? I know you haven't even covered the pre-party or the club experience.
Yeah. So we acoustic sets, we've looked at a bunch of experience stuff. It doesn't look like outside of some sponsor activations we're going to have potentially a ton of experience stuff, and I'll say why. We don't want to overdo it at first year at the Raceway. And then the other piece is I really think that fans are going to be busy from the moment they get in, because it's just the way the lineup's built. There's just not a lot of dead time. So I can throw up go-karting and then fans can be like, well, I missed, 3 of my bands while waiting in line to go-kart. So there's opportunities, but I think for this year, probably gonna be lighter on the experiences side. The pre-party lineup is Puddle of Mud, Alien Ant Farm, Cold, Crazy Town, Burden of the Sky, and more. The club experience lineup is Nelly, 303, Emo Night Brooklyn, an act that we haven't really highlighted called Noble Poets. It's a new duo. It's managed by Brian Head Welsh of Korn. So we gave him a little set there in the club, but there are a lot of firepower to come on the club experience. We've been doing some polls to get some more feedback on that one. So there's some very special guests coming soon, but Nelly, 303, Emo Night to start things off for club, a lot more to come.
Okay, that's very cool. Now we know the club lineup's going to look like. So now, correct me if I'm wrong. Last year, the club lineup was only one artist per night. So it sounds like that there's going to be more than one artist per night at the club experiences.
Correct.
Okay, so there you go, people. You're going to get more than just one act a night. You'll have some openers, and
yes.
more to come.
You'll
That's
have,
cool.
have some more. We did one night, Bernard, where we had 2. We did one night with Rev Run, and then Ludacris played that night as well. So we just felt like that worked well, kept people engaged and excited, and wanted to diversify. And I'll tell you, with some of the hip hop rap artists, they do 30-minute sets. They do like 45-minute sets because they'll blow through like 20 hits the way the way those performances are in just those 30 or 45 minutes. So
right.
To see.
All right, that sounds good.
I gotta ask, out of all of these artists, besides Skillet, who are you most excited about having join the Blue Ridge family for 2022?
Let me think. I pulled the poster. Remember who all was on the lineup again? Oh man, some of these I booked so long. Some of these I booked in like October, November of last year or so, and then others I booked more recently.
Yes, Amanda, I know he is very excited about Bad Flower. He may be more excited about Bad Flower.
I think personal favorites, it's hard to say. I never get to see any of the bands, so that's one of the downsides for it. I think Slipknot was, I guess for me, if a personal favorite with music, I'm going to be someone more in the mid-card line that likes a few of those other, I like a lot of songs by different bands. I also didn't get to see, someone like a Seether last year or a Killswitch last year, really. And I enjoy those bands. I know this is going to be incredibly blasphemous for some rock fans, but I've gotten into Daughtry a little bit with some of his with his rock album. And he has a bunch of old hits when I was a teenager and American Idol was huge. So that's cool. I had him actually at phase 2 back in, I think, like 2018. I booked him for a club show. In terms of like bookings, I'll say that were really memorable. Ice Cube's a really memorable booking. Slipknot is the biggest of my career since the reunion fell through. That's a huge deal. And I really like some of the unique bookings that I really, really worked hard to get, which is like Slaughter to Prevail, only US show that they've announced, and looks like it'll be one of only a couple they do this year. Just a lot of momentum and heat. We're just gauging the fan interest in that, and it's been one of the biggest overperforming announcements for us this year. So too heavy for me personally to for a longer period of time, but doesn't mean I don't like the booking and I'm not excited to deliver it for the fans.
Yeah, I like this. Is one of the things I liked about the lineup so far, even before we got to the final one today, is the variety. And we've talked about it, I think, on every live stream we've been doing. That variety is so wide, but that's just so good because there's always something for everyone, to be able to see. You don't like one band, great. Go check out probably 2 or 3 other artists on one of the other stages that you'll probably like more. There's just something just there literally for everyone. And I do love the Daughtry pick because I'm a big fan of him and, found that, I covered his show when they came to Orlando. They were fantastic. They're going to blow people's minds when they play, without a doubt, without a doubt. But I suddenly feel old from the comment that Jonathan said about, he was a teenager and, during American Idol. So in any case, so also there was a couple of other things that were announced today. Glamping finally hit the website, we noticed. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, and I have not been on socials or phone or text message or emails much today, but I heard it's sold incredibly fast. I think they're not too far from selling out, which we can attribute the wonderful hotel sellouts everywhere to that situation. Part of the problem. We were really hoping that casino would open by next year at the latest, because we have a 500 room hotel nearby, which would make a huge difference. But we found out that's now booted to 2024.
Oh,
yes. So
yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Glamping. I don't know most of. I don't know most of the details. I know I've been on an email chain somewhere just letting us know from the marketing standpoint, but I think if you go to the ETIX page, it's like 10 bullet points of like, here's what you get, here's what the company's providing, et cetera. And I know people say it's a high price. Just remember, like, it's a company that's providing it. So we're not really taking much. We're just kind of covering the land cost for us, like we would for, I think it's a less of a profit margin than even tent camping or anything else would be for us. So we just wanted to make it available because of the lack of hotels and how important that glamping is for a lot of folks.
Okay. Fair enough. Sounds good. Today's, well, let me ask you this. What's our final artist count right now with the lineup after everyone who was added today as well?
What's the final number?
Yes.
Oh, shoot, I don't even know. I think I can pull it up at this point. I think granted, this includes when we finish the club announcements,
okay,
and the ginger replacement and the reunion. We're at about 191 or so, including guests.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy. 191 artists. We're still, what was it? We're at 5. That's stages that we're still talking about for this year. 5
yes,
stages,
5
4
stages.
days.
That's right.
Okay. With the main stages being side by side, and
Correct.
then the other stages in locations that will be close proximity, I'm assuming.
Yes. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to release the map soon. We're on like version 10 of the map. It's really well thought out this year and very in-depth planning. But you have basically, if you were to lay out, it's hard to do this, but if you're just like to lay out the property and just say everything was all, the arena was flat, you'd have your 2 stages, main stages side by side. And then in the middle, you've got your 5th stage, which is predominantly your hardcore stage, and a lot of independents that we believe in, talent search winners that we had. And then on the other side, you've got your more work oriented stage, and then your heavy metal oriented stage. So you've got these two kind of together, right? I mean, directly side by side. These are almost side by side. I'm still considering side by side because it's like, I think it's like a 30-second walk, if that, 20-second walk, and then you got your hardcore stage in the middle.
Okay. That sounds like a decent lineup. Let's see. At least it wouldn't. Well, I mean, it depends on size of the venue and walking and such. But who's not used to walking at a festival? As far as I'm concerned, the only thing is, as long as there's no hills, we should be.
I think there are some hills, not as steep as what we had last year on the property, just rolling because it's the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia.
Yes.
But we're not on a mountain, to be clear. but there is some grade there. But a couple of things that we're doing off the top of my head is, well, first, I think it's gonna be a huge difference maker that the main stages are side by side because of how much that walk was for folks last year. Granted, I didn't get to leave an office last year, so I didn't get to see much, but I know that was a big piece. And having them side by side is beautiful. And then it's like 5-minute break, so like goes from 1 to 1:30, set 1 to 30, 1:35 changeover. We do some giveaways, we do whatever, give out t-shirts or whatever to get people excited. We have a new merch company this year. They are big time, so we're not going to run out of merch. We're gonna have more merch sellers, all the things that we were really hoping for. And then the next stage, after 5 minutes, no matter more than 5 minutes after the next main stage goes. And then in terms of the property overall, we're working to get, so they have little trolleys at the raceway, and there's roads that connect a lot of things. And so we're really working on a really robust system to transport people as needed. Particularly, it'll be free and everything for ADA, just to continue to make things really easy. Our ADA company, Fantouche, is we're all working with them to make that commute a little bit easy. But I think it's going to be good. There's no multiple properties. Everyone that's camping is on the property. There's going to be two entrances this year, I believe. I don't want to speak out of turn. One that's by the 2 stages on this side, and one by the 2 stages on that side, closer to that area. And a premium tent camping is like a full, I know it's sold out immediately. People don't even realize it's like a full, 45-second walk, depending on where you are in the premium tent camp. A lot, it could be a little bit more, but it's like right across the street. And by street, I mean private roads within VIR.
Right.
So not like a freeway.
It's not, unfortunately, not like last year where we're literally crossing over a highway in a sense to get there. All right, that sounds like good news.
I know
Good
we
news.
are at the top of the hour, and I want to be very respectful of your time, John. I know you have more than a few things that you're trying to tie up. So
yes,
my parting words, again, a huge thank you. This lineup is epic. I cannot wait for September. Is there anything that you would want to leave us with before we go back to our standard rambling and babbling about how epic this thing is going to be?
Well, yes, there's a lot to say, but I just will say that we really, sales are ahead of where we were last year, but we have been throwing the gauntlet this year, and even though there's been so much improvement and work that's been done, we need the fans more than ever this year, in light of what I was sharing about the poster, and just touch briefly on that, and the fact that we just because of the size of the lineup and just the cancellations we couldn't control, we went up late, and you've got Shinedown. This is usually unheard of, but Shinedown's playing like the area during Blue Ridge, basically, and Five Fingers and Megadeth are playing the area during Blue Ridge. Those are massive hurdles that most don't. And so I would just encourage folks, I tried to deliver everything we can. I think the lineup is really, really strong. Some have felt already that it was the strongest of the year, prior to this final release. If we didn't get an act, it doesn't mean that we didn't see the votes. We just did everything in our power to get it. It basically means they were unavailable for the most part. If they were a highly voted band, they were unavailable, and there's no amount of money that we can offer to change that. But I would just encourage, if fans can help spread the word, whether or not they can or cannot come this year, we'd really appreciate it, because that's now what I have to pivot to in my world, is marketing. And we have, as many people have told me, we have a Mount Everest in front of us to overcome all the odds, to sell out and to deliver this year. And I feel like all the other pieces have been buttoned up, and now we just got to sell the tickets. And I'm really excited to give a better, really strong experience for folks, and hope that they are going to have an amazing time, and I think they will. And that's just going to further allow us to do bigger and better next year, because we had some real challenges this year on booking, but I think we were still able to deliver a solid lineup. And if we can do solid numbers this year, I think it's only going to be stronger what we can do next year. But I'd also say the prices. I know people have been saying, hey, you're not fan driven, you're money driven. There's a lot into that. The money is very, very, we're giving out still discounted tickets to those who can't afford. It's very, very important to me. I've been passionate about that since day one. And even in the change, did not want to lose that. Inflation is very real. and our cost of everything skyrocketed, and that's one of the bigger challenges. In addition, there were a lot of first year costs, being at VIR, being at the Raceway. We now have a very legitimate venue, so it's a lot more expensive doing the show there than doing it elsewhere. But they are amazing, and they've been just tremendously supportive, and it's given us all that we need. It's made life easier. It's just made life easier because you have the staff, the amenities, the infrastructure. And we've just never had that before, and that's really exciting.
All right. Well, I can tell you this, looking at the comments that are coming through, trust me, you have a lot of support from the fans, and I know the people in the fan zone who do appreciate you. We appreciate you. So thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We greatly appreciate that, and providing that transparency so people can understand at least what's happened, what's going on. And we know you'll continue to spread the message through as soon as you get updates of things that you can share. So we look forward to that. And you're always welcome to come anytime we're doing one of these, feel free to hop on if you have something you want to share. We're happy to have you as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you both so much for your support, for doing this. Thanks for all the fans for tuning in. I didn't advertise this or anything. I just popped in. I'm pretty drained. So before I get emotional about anything, I'm just going to say thank you all to everyone for being a part of this and just continue to support this. It's really special. And I think, and as a final business note, I'm told that the daily lineup should be up on the website any second now. So just keep staying tuned. Again, the crash apparently knocked it off. Not my wheelhouse, but you'll get the lineup there momentarily. But you have the new names and really excited. And if you rewind when they're done with their broadcast, I went over a bunch of the names as well. But thank you both again. I will sign off. I'll be back more soon. But thank you guys for everything. Until
all right. Thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate it.
See you, man.
All right. All
Where
right. That was a nice surprise, right? There you go, people.
Where do we
Mr.
go
Slye
from
himself.
here?
Where do we go from here? I don't even know where to go from
I kind of want to go back and rewind and live stream what he just said, because wow.
Well, so FYI, for those of you, and by the way, the numbers jump like crazy, of course, but Jonathan's signing on. So for those of you who are here, welcome. For those of you who don't know, I'll introduce myself again. I'm Bernard Cana. I'm editor, photographer of the website known as the Photo Pit. Over there to my right is Danny Mazzeo, who's the editor, photographer of the website known as the Threshold. Excuse me, just so you know, this was not planned. Danny and Jonathan know each other, personally, and he happened to send over the link to him to just see, maybe he might show up. We didn't expect him to actually show up. So Jonathan, thank you so much. We appreciate that. That was a really nice surprise. So there we go. All right. What we normally do is we're going to talk about all the add-ons that happened. The lineup is on the website, as we mentioned earlier before, BlueRidgeRockFest.com/lineup. So lineup is there. The dailies, as Jonathan said, will be there soon. They're still just, rebuilding it. So it's not there yet. Be patient. It'll get there. So then you can check out your day per day and see who's playing on when. But normally what we've done every time we did these is go through all the new artists that were there. So we're going to talk about them real quick. We'll just give a quick overview because the lineup add-ons were massive today. And I think we'll,
there's no way we could hit our usual. There's just no way.
Yeah. We'll just touch base on each one really quick and go through. Normally I'd go through the discography, but I don't think we need to go through all that today because we're already half an hour in. All right, so let's talk about the ones one by one, and I'm just doing them in the order that they were listed on the post that Jonathan had put up in the Blue Ridge fan zone of the add-ons to the announcement for today. The Big Boy, the heavy metal band out of Peoria, Illinois, and no, not Slipknot, I mean the other one known as Mudvayne. That to me was like the biggest announcement that I was not just expecting to see. And anyone who doesn't know who Mudvayne is, you're probably out of your mind. They went on hiatus back in 2010, came back in 2021 to perform live. Now Blue Ridge has them on the lineup for 2022 to be performing. And for those, believe it or not, Mudvayne had a very small discography of 5 albums. Their last album was self-titled back in 2009. But man, if you don't know their songs by now, you're probably missing out. So you definitely go check them out. I love the ad. Danny, I'm sure you have, Mudvayne comments.
I'm going to leave it with one comment because I could be here all night with my excitement. But Mudvayne holds a very, very special place in my heart because that was the first date with my now wife, was to see Mudvayne. So just that much more excited that they're back. Yeah, just freaking blown away. Again, I could talk about these guys all night. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got right now.
All right. So in order, the next one that was listed, American rapper, actor, filmmaker, Ice Cube.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right. That's a hell yeah. Studio albums. Let's see how many here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. His last one was Everything's Corrupt in 2018. I think most people would have known him as part of also his NWA, which is huge for in his career. But yeah, I mean, a great actor, great performer, great rapper. I mean, this, as much as people know, I'm not the biggest fan of that genre. This is still such a huge addition for the festival to have him there. I love this. I absolutely love that. Danny, what's your take on this one?
I mean, what do you say? It's Ice Cube. I mean, the dude is a legend. Like, holy crap. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I honestly, I just don't know. That Jonathan had said this once before, and I remember him calling this out at some point, saying that he's always liked to have an artist like a hip hop rap added to like the main stage, area, just to mix things up a bit. And, I don't think you get much better than having Ice Cube. I mean, I can only think of maybe like one or two other people I would consider, who could have potentially hit that stage, like Snoop or Ice-T, or someone like that. But I mean, just, this is right.
Again, freaking Ice Cube, man.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, come on. All right. Excuse me. So next on the list, where are we? Rock band from Pennsylvania, Blue Ridge alumni from last year, who had a killer set over on the URW stage, and that was Hailstorm. And for those who don't know, Hailstorm, fronted by Lizzie Hale, her brother RJ is drummer, and they just put on such an amazing show, and you're not going to find a better like heavy rock act to really spice things up than them. Their latest album that was out is supposed to be, does this already get released yet? Yep, released this year, May 6th of 2022, which is called Back from the Dead. That was their 5th album, and I'm sure that means they're going to be playing some songs off that album at Blue Ridge this year. Any follow-up to that, Danny?
First time I saw them was 05 opening for Shinedown at some really small venue when nobody had heard of them, and have been a fan and then some ever since. Like, you remember how you may have fangirled a little bit over a band or two along the way? No. I may have squealed more than a little when I saw that name dropped just a couple of hours ago. Their set last year was absolutely phenomenal. It has been incredible to watch them kind of build from that side stage, no name act to headline material. I mean, let's call it for what it is. And it's not just the incredible talent of Lizzie Hale, it's the entire band. I mean, just every one of them is just absolutely phenomenal. So
they are.
Huge win to have them back.
And Lori Johnson says she knows you're a fangirl. So just saying.
It is.
It is. All right. Next on that list, another American rock band. Usually, I mean, I define these guys as metalcore because I think they are. Out of, where are they from? Tampa, Florida. Just saying. Was Under Oath.
Oh, that's right.
And
from Florida.
Yeah. I mean, Under Oath. I can't speak enough good things about them. They are such a fabulous band. They had actually broken up back in 2013 or so, that they actually took a hiatus, but they came back stronger than ever. In 2018, they had that release of their album called Erase Me, and that album was so good. And they have just been on a hot streak ever since then. And their next album that's supposed to be coming out is known as The Voyeurist. And that already came out. That released on January 14th, 2022. So now we'll probably get them to have music played for that new album at Blue Ridge. So I'm excited for this one. I love them. Under Oath is awesome.
They've been around way too long for me to say I have not seen them, but I have not seen them. So hell yeah.
You've never seen them yet?
I have not. Dude. I am.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'll love it.
Wow, Amanda. I don't know what to say to this. So I'm just gonna read it for those that missed it. Absolutely favorite. More Than Bad Flower. You heard it here. Somebody.
This is recorded, just so you know. So we'll make sure to call that out too. Amanda has said that there's a band More Than Bad Flower that she loves.
Just wow. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I have no words to that. We'll just keep trucking through. All right. Next one that was on the list of the add-ons was another rock band, this time out of Coral Springs, Florida. Back from 1977, because they've just been around for a really long time, known as Newfound Glory. Jonathan said it's a 20th anniversary of Sticks and Stones, which is true. That was their third album that came out in 2002. So it sounds like, my guess is they're going to play that album from cover to cover if they're celebrating the anniversary. That's what most of these bands do. Yeah. So and I'll tell you that Newfound Glory has, if you've never listened to them before, they're great solid rock. Their discography is very big and wide. And what did they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 albums. The most recent one was called December's Here. That came out in 2021. So definitely go and check them out. You will love them. Their Forever Plus Ever times Infinity was their most recent album prior to that in 2020. And that was a solid album. But yeah, I'm excited for this because I love them. I've covered their shows before and they're just fun. They're a fun rock band. I'd say if you like A Day to Remember, you'll probably love them too.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my nifty little notes here. First time I saw them was back in 2001. So I feel old as hell all of a sudden. But if you are a fan of pop punk, if you are a fan of just a fun show, and if you want to hear some damn good covers, look up Newfound Glory. Like, for those that aren't familiar with them, this is like just the perfect festival band. It's just gonna be awesome. So it looks like we've got some Newfound Glory fans that are commenting, which makes me extremely happy to know that this is so not going anywhere, that this genre is still alive and well.
Oh, it is. No, this genre is very alive and well. I love Amanda's comment. Like she says, I love ATDR because I loved NFG first.
I kind of feel like today was Amanda's day. Like, it
sounds like it.
There's some good stuff coming out here.
Yeah. Well, how about the next one that was released? Punk rock band out of Hermosa Beach, California, known as Pennywise.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I will be honest. I know them by name. I have never listened to any of their music yet. They've just not come across my playlist, so I'll have to. But the one thing that I did love, Spencer Charnas, vocalist of Ice Nine Kills, when they were playing at our local festival here in Orlando at Earth Day Birthday, after they did their set, we photographed Thrice. And after I stepped away out of our three, Spencer was standing there just watching, Thrice's set. And as he's standing there after he changed his uniform, wearing a shirt, and what was on it? Pennywise. I was like, I so love that. Yeah, there's some love there for the band from Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, so they like I said, I've never had the chance to listen, but they have a huge discography too. As early back as 1991, their last album was in 2018 called Never Gonna Die. So I'll have to definitely do myself a favor and go listen to them. Have you heard of them musically?
Yeah. So we've talked about this on our streams a couple times, right? With the Vans Warped Tour, there was kind of that pivotal moment where, in my heyday, it was much more of the punk, like legit, just straight punk and ska scene whereas it really shifted more into the metalcore kind of thing. So Pennywise to me was always the ultimate Vans Warped Tour band of just hard straight punk and just let it go. Yeah, I've seen them. First time I saw them was Warped Tour in 01, and oh my God, dude. F Authority, would certainly recommend you looking that one up.
All right.
Perfect People. Yeah. Again, I'm giddy as all friggin' hell about all of the announcements that came out this evening, but this one especially, I'm just like, oh my God, this is just so damn good. So yeah, this is a huge win. I think it's gonna be a really good opportunity for some of these youngins like Amanda to get schooled on some old school, and it's gonna be awesome.
All right. Sounds good. Well, also, school some old school people like me. And, we'll
Like
see.
you probably had hair during their heyday, Bernard.
I probably didn't. Just saying. All right. The next one that was on the list in order was Daughtry. For those who don't know. And this is where I should have asked Jonathan about this one too. As Amanda mentioned it earlier, let's play the, were you born when game with Jonathan. If he ever comes back on, we'll have to do that. So Chris Daughtry was a finalist on the 5th season of American Idol. He had made it down to the top 4 and got booted, which I think was rubbish in my personal opinion, because yes, I followed it very closely that season. And I kind of sensed that after watching him that he was going to go somewhere, and he lo and behold did. This guy has broken out so big, and he has so many great rock singles. Now, excuse me, I will say, is he going to be for everyone? No, he won't. He is rock. He sometimes leans towards the pop rock side just because it's the radio rock. But trust me when I tell you, you give him a chance, you listen to that live set, you will love him. Absolutely. And for those who don't know, he has 6 albums that are out. His most recent album is Dearly Beloved. It's a great album. His first album, which is self-titled called Daughtry, I strongly recommend listening to if you've never heard his stuff, because I think you'll get a good vibe of how rock-oriented he is, even though, he kind of does fall in the radio rock scene. I kind of want to feel like, I can't say like if you like Seether, who I consider one of the radio rock kings, if you like Seether, you'd like Daughtry.
But
yes, I think if you like Three Doors Down, you'll definitely love Daughtry's work, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. So I'm personally excited for this one because after we covered the show in Orlando, I said he will be a great act for the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. So I love it. I love that one. Indeed. Amanda says she was 7, so out of nappies. Okay. All right. Next one. Rock band, Inglewood, California. This one, I will tell you, people are going to lose their frigging minds over. It is the awesomeness that is known as Fever 333. They are a trio, and they only have one studio album that's known as Strength in Numbers that came out in 2019. They have a bunch of singles that were out and about as they were doing stuff. Jason Alon Butler, Stephen Harrison is guitarist, Eric Importa is the drummer. But the thing that Fever brings to anything is the live energy, and it is off the chain. And I know I showed you some photos of stuff that I've taken from them before, but these guys are nuts. Like literally on stage, they're just, and I mean, they are energetic. They are full of passion. Jason is a very passionate person, especially about, especially on a social standpoint of things that are happening in the world today. They have that rebellious feel to them. I'm telling you, trust me when I tell you this, do not miss their set when they perform at Blue Ridge. If you miss it, you will regret it, because they always have something happening that is going to make your mind go, just trust me on that one. Okay, I've said enough.
I don't even know what else you could possibly say. I mean, they are just more than just their stage energy and their prominence in the scene already. You know, they're making powerful statements, but they are also some of the most humble, nicest dudes you can meet.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
just phenomenal. Just
Yes.
like,
No, I'm with you 110%.
Not enough time to talk about how good these guys are just in every aspect. So I'm ecstatic that this alum is coming back to grace with their presence.
When did they play prior? Do you remember what year?
Fever was there last year, man.
They were there last year. How did I miss their set last year?
And then they were on, and then I saw them with Slipknot on their roadshow shortly after that.
Jealous. I love those guys. I don't know what the problem with last year is, like, because of the so many overlaps. I'm sure it was one of these situations where it was like, I've never seen them, but I've seen Fever multiple times, so I had to make a choice. Then probably that's why.
Now, if I remember correctly, they were performing same time as Light the Torch from another festival here in Carolina a few years ago. And I made the decision to see Light the Torch and missed out on Fever and was heartbroken.
Yeah. Well,
if I've got my timeline correct, and likely I don't, but that's okay, because who cares?
Yeah.
Makes for a good story. No, you don't.
Yes. All right. Anyway, moving on. So next up, and I really love this announcement because I've seen him live on his solo tour, is Rob Zombie's well-known guitarist known as John 5. I mean, and you know, John 5 as a solo artist has 9 albums, nine.
As a solo artist.
As a solo artist, Invasion in 2019 was his last one. I had the opportunity to interview him. He is the most down-to-earth guy I have ever spoken to in an interview.
That's
and he was just fantastic. I will say, if you haven't listened to his solo albums, give them a listen. They're all instrumental. But he's worked with so many other artists that people may not know about, such as David Lee Roth, for example. Marilyn Manson is another example that he's worked with, during his career. He's written and recorded for other people such as Ozzy Osbourne, for the Scorpions, for Steve Perry, for Leonard Skinner. I mean, he's just all over the place, but he is.
You don't realize just how much he has touched and how much he has influenced until you start thinking, and then it's like, oh my God, like.
Yeah, and he's great live. He's a great performer. He's a lot of fun. So don't miss his set if you can. You guys will enjoy him. I enjoy his work very much so. So, all right. Who is next on the list here? Next on the list was a rock band from out of California known as Point North. I'll be honest, I've not heard of them before. Can you tell me anything about these guys?
Not enough, other than I've heard a few of their spins on Octane, and definitely your standard Octane band. But I don't say that in a generic radio kind of thing. Like, they are definitely friggin' awesome.
Okay. Yeah, this is another band for me. I'll have to give a listen to. And from what I could see, just on what I found, it looks like they have 2 studio albums so far. But that's like the most that I've seen.
Amanda, you're supposed to be on, so rather than typing about all of this, why don't you hop on and help us fill in the gaps here? I feel really weird, like I'm talking to my screen more.
Because you are talking to your screen.
To you, Bernard.
Well, because you are. Hang on a second. Hang on. Where dun, dun. Amanda called me the other day and hung up on me because apparently she didn't want to talk to me.
I would totally do the same. It's really not a bad idea. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I hate you. She says, I'm so tired I look like a corpse.
You're never actually on video anyway, dude. Like,
whatever.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. All right. Go listen to Ghost in My Home by them. All right. I'll try to check that out. She said that was a butt dial. You still could have called me anyway, just saying. All right. So the next so the next artist that was listed here is Jairus Johnson. Now, is this the Jairus Johnson that's the TikTok star?
Yes.
Okay.
That is how
So
he
that's
got
all
it.
I know about him,
That is how
to
he
be
has
honest.
gotten
He does
his-
rock covers, right? And that's the most I know.
He has definitely gotten his start from TikTok and has. It's incredible seeing how much he's blown up. He may be one of the first ones that, at least that I'm aware of, kind of rising to some level of fame through TikTok. So it's kind of cool to see somebody take just a new avenue of being found. But I mean, he's collaborated with a ton of artists already since then, and I'm excited. I am. I don't know enough about what to expect to say, all right, he's a must see for this reason. I think because of that unknown is probably why I'm that much more interested to see him.
Okay. Fair enough. That's the most like I said, I have only known of him just by that alone, but never listened to any of his covers that he's done. So all right. The next was one of the club artists that Jonathan had talked about, which is known as Emo Night Brooklyn. From their website, literally says they're a late night DJ based dance party that does all your favorite emo pop punk jams. So they basically that's what we're getting. So they're well known enough that they're out there, but that's going to be a club experience only. And who are the club experience lucky people? Campers. So if you don't have a camping pass, you unfortunately cannot buy a club experience ticket. So if you're thinking about you want to go to the club experience, maybe you may need to swap and get yourself a camping pass so you'd be able to go. So they're the only ones who have access to it. So just so you're aware. All right. Next on the list was Soulless. So from what I've seen here, they're a Swedish band, if I'm thinking this is the correct Soulless. Founded in 2012. Known for doing rock metal covers of bands of artists such as Ed Sheeran and Britney Spears and The Weeknd. So, and then they released their debut
Really?
album in 2019, known as Brothers.
Really damn good covers, may I add.
Okay. So
Like,
you've listened to them?
I have.
Okay.
I have. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Next on the list was, if I remember this correctly, Brand of Sacrifice. Their someone's bio that I found here said that they are a brutal technical deathcore band that has members from the progressive metal outfit known as the After Image and a death metal group known as Ascarius. And they come out of Toronto and New York City. I could say that I've heard of them, and Brand of Sacrifice right now is kind of on a hot streak. Like they've have a number of tours that they've been on, and that they are like really as a name starting to get out there and really building up.
Really
They're
exciting.
only around since 2018. So, but I know for sure that they have been like, they've becoming well known in that, whole deathcore scene. So, I think I
know this
might have
is-
listened
I know
like
this
a
is gonna
single.
be a surprise, but it looks like Courtney might be quite a fan of them.
Why would you say that?
OMG.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
That's fair. Yeah, no, I like I said, I've heard of them at least by reputation. I haven't listened to their music.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe I might have caught a single somewhere about them, but I know that they are on the hot list of moving up, in the world of deathcore.
yep.
So they'll be a nice add to that heavy metal scene on the Blue Ridge stages. Let's see who is next, because I got a few more to go. CU Space Cowboy, hardcore punk band out of San Diego, California, formed in 2016. Only have 2 studio albums that are out. Their most recent one was literally in November of last year, known as The Romance of Affliction. And they're signed to Pure Noise Records. Here's the funny part. I've not heard of them before, but I know where their name comes from. And I don't know if have you heard where the name is from?
I don't think I have.
So the name comes from a Japanese anime show known as Cowboy Bebop.
That
And
would be
See You
why I
Space.
don't know.
Yep, and See You Space Cowboy is their closing tagline of the show. Almost like it was from like there's in the anime show there is a TV show that's run, and it's a TV show for bounty hunters looking for new bounties, and at the end of the show they always wrap it up with See You Space Cowboy. So any case, that's where it comes from. But I don't know anything about the band. Have you heard of them before or listened to music?
I can't say that I have. And I certainly wouldn't know from the anime perspective. I'll be honest. So that is good to know. I feel like I'm actually be able to connect with my kid on something. So that's a win.
There you go.
But I'm definitely up for checking them out. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I mean, that's one of the beautiful things that we keep liking to cover on these live streams too, right? Is just because I don't know the band, I'm going to go out and I'm going to check them out. Like,
yes. I agree. I've said the same. Indeed. All right. And then the last one that was on that new list is Sleep Token, British band where they only looks like they've had 2 albums that came out. They've only been around, it looks like, since 2019, maybe 2020 at the most. Like their first album was in 2019, known as Sundowning. Their second album came out in September of 2021. And that was known as This Place Will Become Your Tomb. They do have 2 EPs that came out. There we go. So they're 2 EPs that came out in 2016, 2017. So they've been around since 2016 at the minimum. But they're out of London, England. And they're listed as a rock band. So that's as most as I know, unfortunately, about Sleep Token. There you go.
You know, again, if you were to scrap the prior Blue Ridge Math's worth of 100 and however many bands, and just look at the announcements from tonight, just looking at them, you've got hip hop, you've got a DJ, you've got pop punk, you've got metal, you've got metalcore, you've got an instrumentalist, you've got straight rock. Well, I mean, this tranche of bands alone just shows you the variety that's to come. I'm just, bring on September, man. Bring on September.
I'm with you on that. I mean, it's just, if I went back, excuse me, I'm sorry I've been coughing and dry throating so much. For those who don't know, I unfortunately got COVID last week and I'm like still recovering from that crap. So I mean, just looking at the lineup, like just the lineup.
Great for the plague that has been going through your house.
Oh, yeah, plague has run through my house.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Follow my Facebook for more updates on Plague House, because it's been fun. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's such a great lineup. I mean, so on the website itself, Slipknot, Disturbed, Ghost, Mudvayne, Ice Cube, Three Doors Down, right? That's your first 6 that are listed. I mean, I just don't know how you go wrong with that. You know, I mean, I didn't get a chance to tell Jonathan, but damn, when the Ghost announcement dropped, you know me with that band. I mean, it's just, how do I not?
I heard you like them.
So the album that Jonathan was talking about with Ghost, the fact that this is like the first time they're headlining a festival, which is true, which makes me bonkers that they've never had before, is called Impera. And I probably must have streamed that at least 126 million times, you know, because
that's likely more than that Blue Ridge Math, and it's probably
I'm telling you, it is. That album blew my mind with how easy it is to just go through it and listen to it, and the variety of style of music that came off of that is incredible. A track called Hunter's Moon was on the most recent Halloween movie soundtrack. They wrote that specifically for the movie that they ended up putting on the album. Call Me Little Sunshine was probably the #1 single that they're talking about because that's just such a great track. You have a song called Spillways that has this very Journey-like feel to it, and you just got to listen to it to understand it. A ballad, what's the ballad? Darkness in My Heart, I think it's called. I mean, it's just, now you gotta give me 1 second, hang on. If I could spell, this would help. Come on, Google, work with me here. Darkness at the Heart of My Love. I mean, in that you want to talk about ballads beyond ballads, go listen to that and tell me I'm wrong.
I'll
The
tell you you're
20s,
wrong,
which
just on principle.
yeah, that too. A song called the 20s, which just has such a unique sound to it, which I love. And Kaiserion, which is probably my favorite single on that album, is just incredible. I mean, that album top to bottom is just amazing, and the fans are going to love their performances. And I've always said about Ghost is that to me, like they're very much like Nickelback. You're gonna love them or hate them. There's never a middle ground. I don't know anyone who just says, "Yeah, I think they're okay." It's either I love Ghost or it's I hate Ghost. And it's just we'll see. Um, but the fact that Disturbed is on this lineup, I mean, my gosh, Slipknot is on this lineup, and fans have been begging for them since last year, right?
Before
Last year when they started
let's be
making their
honest,
rounds
yeah.
to be on the lineup. Mudvayne was asked the same way last year. They got him this year finally. You have Three Doors Down, A Day to Remember, Hailstorm, Lamb of God. Can we talk about Mr. Alice Cooper for a moment?
No, let's back up for just a second because you did mention Lamb of God.
Oh,
Just
yes.
a random plug, new song coming out Friday.
Yep. Yes, Amanda. And I gave you How About Bad Flower in my, fangirling. Yes. And you are fangirling for them. Yes, it's fine. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like this, but I think you and I should do another live stream now that this lineup is fully out. Go through this and let's talk about like maybe our top 5 on each one, like between the two of us.
I think we should just
Maybe
spin
top
a
10.
wheel. I think we should just spin a wheel and talk about the artist that comes up.
Do you have a wheel that has 191 slots on it?
I don't know if Christine is still on with us, but I think she figured out how to make one on the line here. I think you could use the Google and figure that out.
How would I do that?
I don't know. You're the IT guy. No,
Yeah,
dude, I am all for it. I think let's plan on discussing 5. We may want to compare notes so that we are not discussing the same 5. But then again, out of this many bands, it would be kind of impressive if we had the same 5. If any of
it would be. Yeah, it would be.
So let's we were just messing around. I was talking about your prize wheel. We were debating on the feasibility of 190 something artists on a wheel to then be able to determine which one we are going to speak about.
I'm sure she'll figure out a way. I'm sure she will.
She would. Please don't hurt yourself trying, because that is a lot.
Yes, Kevin said he misses us, and we'll get so I haven't talked to Danny about this, but we are going to continue doing the live streams. At least that's the plan. I'd love to keep doing these now that especially the lineup is dropped. We might extend our topics, beyond just doing Blue Ridge, because there are other things out there, like tours and, other festivals and such. And both of us are media that, we're supposed, we cover a lot, Blue Ridge is not just our only coverage we do. We will still talk about Blue Ridge because we love it and we'll do it. And there is still a lot more to talk about, but we may just do some other live streams on other days that may talk about other coverage stuff. So we'll let people know at least what we're planning to discuss on whatever days. But yeah, we'll get back to it. Honestly, Danny and I have just been waiting for the full lineup to come out before we were going to do another one, just because we knew we were so close to the time. Just, we understood that things got delayed and unexpected. So that's okay. I think we both needed a little bit of a break too. So we'll get back to it. We'll keep things going.
Life, sometimes it hurts.
Okay. Christina says, set it up. She'll happily do it to DM her with what to do.
It's pretty freaking amazing.
You're awesome, Christina. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Kevin says, any thoughts on the mystery band? No, it's like, I don't know. The 20 year, no, it's a reunion in the making, right? Wasn't that what Jonathan said? That this is a reunion band, the one that's going to be announced later over the summer? Because they're probably going to have to drop the tour. That's the catch, right? So you have this band who is a reunion band that's going to go on tour.
It's not a one-off.
Right.
event.
It's not a one-off thing. So that's why they couldn't announce it yet. And they'll be in there. But yeah, I don't have a clue. I'll have to put my brain around this one. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's an interesting guess. Megan says Crossfade. Maybe. Haven't heard from them in a while. It's possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll think about that. Okay. We'll give that one some thought. Someone else has a question. Was Lori still on? Because she asked a question I didn't get to answer.
Read Lori.
Nope, she dropped. I'll just she asked if we're both going to be at Blue Ridge. That was the question. The simple answer to that is I don't know yet. Danny will probably be there because he volunteers and he helps out all the time.
Danny
at Blue
will
Ridge.
be there. Danny bought tickets. The absolute immediate chance that I could.
Yes. So Danny will be there for sure. I am media. And for those who don't know, I have to apply for basically a media pass for the festival. So I will put in an application, that is for sure. And we provide like our coverage links that we did and such like that. And then the festival has to go through and make decisions and decide what medias they're going to allow to come and, basically cover the festival. They can't let everyone because the last year, I know that they got bombarded, with the amount of websites that wanted to come cover. And there's only so many spots that they could really hold for media to be able to cover the show effectively because they just can't bombard the photo pits with like 100 of us because that would just be insanity. I know there are festivals out in Europe that do stuff like that. And trust me, from what I've heard, it's insanity. So I don't know yet if I'll be there. We'll find out. I do plan on putting in my application for it and we'll see and hope and pray, that it happens. So I'll put it this way. So for those in full transparency, as the way Jonathan says, I never assume that me doing this is going to get me access into the festival. I do this because I want to do it. I do it because I believe in the festival. I do it because I wanted to help promote it, and yes, I will hope that, yes, I get a media approval, but I know that this is not a guaranteed thing. They have decisions they have to make that works best for them on what media coverages are going to help them too. So, I leave it with that. So we'll see. But yes, I do plan on putting in my application for it and we hope and pray.
You still haven't done that?
I'll get there. I have till August 1st. Thank you very much.
That's creeping on you these days. All right, that's creeping on you.
Yes, I know. We'll see. Lori says that that she wants to hug you.
I am all about some hugs. Let's hug. Lori,
see now, Megan. Now Megan's getting on me about it.
See.
Megan, no, I have not. Reason why. I still need to get half of the recordings that we've done onto the website. So this way I actually have links that I could provide to Blue Ridge because in their application, they've asked for, show us your coverage links that you've done. Most festivals do actually ask for that because they want to see how much have you promoted their festival in order to see, should they give an approval for that media group or not. So I have to still get all of those onto the website. Once I get all those on, I'll have all my media links. I'll get all my submissions in. So I know August 1st is the cutoff. I have some time. I just got to get on it like this week and start getting those up there. So
well, first you got to feel better. That really is
yes.
your prerogative. Get you and the family healthy.
Yes, and Amanda says she's going to yell at me too because she says you cannot get chosen if you do not submit an application. Yes, ma'am. I understand. I will get my stuff in. I appreciate you. So, but yes, that's the hope. So, but if this pans out and hopefully if I do, Grim and I will be there then, if we are approved and yeah,
I'm
and then hopefully
he's not on the live streams on the regular at this point.
I know. I'll get him there one day. I'll bring him back. But but the one thing, like I said, my biggest regret last year, literally my biggest regret was not being able to walk. Let me rephrase this. My biggest regret last year is that I didn't do crowd walks like I always do. In most circumstances, I always walk the crowd, and take pictures of the crowd as I do, as I'm making my way from stage to stage. But we had backstage access in a sense, and it was just easier and faster for us to cut from one stage to another through the back. So, and time was precious, unfortunately, especially with some of the distance and the stay-lit hill. And my feeling on that hill.
I vaguely recall you having this obsession with that hill. Like, I don't know.
I tell you,
so much time there. I was a little concerned for you.
That hill. Yeah. The a quick story, unfortunately. We were coming out of, I think it was Cypress Hill who was down at Steelit. And after we did Cypress Hill, I started to head back, to walk up the stage, and I was with another photographer, and one of the staff members had a cart and I think this was like a security staff that they had a cart as they were starting to drive, and one of the photographers says, "Hey, are you heading back up that way?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, come on, hop in." And we literally bolted for the car and jumped in because we just did not want to walk that hill. So yeah, that's how it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I told you. I mean, I would just from the volunteer work I was doing. I think I was putting a good 35K steps in each day at the festival, and and I'll do it again in a heartbeat, man.
Yep.
Do it again.
I get you. We appreciate the fact that you did that. John asked,
3 months to get my ass back in shape.
You and me both. I got to get back to the gym once I get a little healed up.
Yeah, don't go to the gym until you're healed up, please.
Yeah. John asked, Stained won a poll, right? I don't remember if Stained won one of the polls, but if they did, if they weren't announced, it just basically means that he probably tried to book them and just wasn't able to get them.
Right.
Or, could they be some mystery add-on at some point later? I don't know. But that's my guess, is that they probably couldn't book them. Like this may not have been available to do, because John, I think this year has been really great about whoever people ask for, we pretty much have gotten. Because
Right.
I mean, no joke, how many bands did I jokingly call out at some point on one of the multiple posts, right? And all of a sudden, holy crap, there they were. So Ginger was one of them. I remember that because I remember I was sharing, some of my reviews and stuff. Ginger was one, Daughtry was another, and there was one more. Who was the last one I was thinking of?
I feel like there was more than that, but I don't even know anymore.
The problem was I remember those two specifically, and saying these would be great ads to the festival. Lo and behold,
yeah,
they are. So
not Baroness, I think I saw. I know you and I were talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. So I mean, it's just this year was a definite, very fan-driven, lineup for sure. Slipknot being the #1 most requested band of all time, by the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone. So I'm not shocked that they're here. And then so many other great just little add-ons here and there, especially on the reunion side. We've talked about this like how many times already, but Kitty, as an example, Shadows Fall, Down, right? God Forbid, Texas in July, just a couple of the reunions off the top of my head I can remember. They're there. I have to say, I really love the fact that Texas in July and Era are both playing on the same festival.
It's just gonna be absolutely phenomenal, man.
That's so great.
It was funny hearing Jonathan say, I don't remember who all was on there or something along those lines. Because it's one of those, as many times as we've discussed the bands, I still go back and be like, oh my God, I completely forgot that this band is on there.
I did too.
And I get all kinds of fangirlish again. And
yeah,
you know me, I'm not gonna hold back from said fangirling, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean it is. It is such a I'll leave it with this, since we're getting kind of already close to 10 and we should probably call it a night. I'll get it kind of close to this. What I love about this lineup, besides the fact that it's fan driven, right? It's fan requested. But what I really do love about this lineup is that how people were so excited about the talent that's added. And so many of these bands are well known who are not also they're not major hitters. You know what I mean? We might define them as mid-carders, but I love the fact of how many great ads are on this, so many well-known bands are on this, and the variety. I mean, the diversity is ridiculous. It absolutely is ridiculous. When you go from bands hang on a second. I'm going to just scroll down to the middle of the list for a minute and just.
Let's just start with Amanda and the Spoons. I mean, oh my God.
Here, wait. Here, I'm going to name 6, and just think about this for a second. Here's 6 bands that are all on this festival, and you want to talk about variety for a minute. And these are 6 in a row. Gwar, John 5, God forbid, Apocalyptica, Spirit Box, and Grandson.
Boom.
Right? What other festival are you ever going to see a really mixed variety like that?
Yep.
That's what I'm going to say. That's the thing. Because you just don't see that. And Apocalyptica is going to rock people. I'm telling you, don't miss their set. You will love them. Yeah, I mean, it's just, this is just, it's so great, and it's just, there's like 3 bands in here I just noticed that say to be revealed in between, like Shadows Fall, Story of the Year, All That Remains, and then it drops down to like 303, Baroness, Buckcherry. I just noticed there's like 3 in the middle that are still question marked. Just gonna leave it with that. I mean, it's just such a, like even as Jonathan said, the Slaughter to Prevail. I mean, come on, Demon Hunter, who hasn't been in Virginia in the past 9 years, and I love them. They're primarily a West Coast band, because they're out in Seattle and they like to stay over on that side. They don't tour much like
even bringing Project 86 and like a lot of these older, harder hitting bands, just to bring them back. I mean, it's just. I'm just thrilled, man. I really am.
I'm thrilled. Like Mushroom, that was the other one, Mushroom Head. Because even I know that Todd had asked for them multiple times over, right? I mean, Mushroom Head, Powerman 5000, Lacey Sturm, and now that, he talked about also like who's on the camping lineup with Puddle of Mud, Alien Ant Farm. And if Cold is on the list, you notice that vibe there in the campground lineup that he talked about, right? Very 80s. Very 80s, 90s oriented.
Say definitely, yeah. Hey, it's just good.
Yeah, because Crazy Town was on that list. So
Powerman, Thomas, God, dude, that is going to be so much fun.
Oh, I so love them. I mean, how can you not? Also don't forget we have like Butcher Babies. Like these are bands that were announced like very, very early on, and I think a lot of us just kind of like almost forgot about that. Norma Jean. Yeah. Kublai Khan. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. Otherwise, out of Vegas, if you haven't seen them, don't miss them. Twisted, right? Project 86, Palisades. I mean, this lineup is so good. It is. It just really is.
Hard to imagine that it's actually real and going down.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just, I'll say, I was going to stand by this. It's the diversity. That's what sells this one to me. The diversity between the bands of, just everything from your hard rock to just, rock to metalcore to doom metal, deathcore, I mean, you just such a wide variety, and then you have the club experiences to hip hop and rap and such all in between. So how do you not go, how do you not go wrong with that? It's just like, wow. It's just crazy. So in any case, all right. So people, we're going to leave you with that. So once again, thank you so much for being here this evening. We appreciate it. For us to get a chance to finally kind of talk about at least the add-ons, the lineup. We'll probably try to shoot for Friday night. Our normal thing was every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. So we're going to try to shoot for Friday at 8. And I think what we'll do is we're going to talk about our personal top 5 picks, for each of us. I'm sure that each of us will have the same ones.
I'm going to go ahead and cut you off and say we're not doing it this Friday, Bernard.
What I get. So once again, if we ever had a reschedule, we've always had to say blame Danny, because that's the way it goes.
And so get your bingo cards ready. This is definitely a blame Danny, but I will be heading down to the Flogging Molly Interrupters show.
Oh, nope. You have good reason to. Nope. That is perfect reason to do so.
I will be getting my Irish on.
Nope. You do that.
Yeah. So next week.
So Monday?
Should work.
Okay. Monday. Maybe I'll just do a Friday without you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Anyway, all right. So Monday next week we'll do that. I'll just say that. Christina, if you are still around, by the way, can we do Sunday? Can we do Sunday? Why would we do Sunday? Can we do Sunday? Are you not available on Monday, Christina? Is that what I'm assuming? Well, I just saw she says, can we do Sunday? I'm like, why? But why Sunday?
I'm not used to taking requests, so I don't know how to handle the situation, and I defer to you.
Oh, because Sunday is giveaway day. Oh, we could do a live stream Sunday night. Or can you, Danny? Can you do a Sunday?
I should be able to.
Okay.
I am Ron Burgundy. I mean, I don't know.
So
Sunday's
Chris-
a long time from now,
And
man.
it's Jesus's day. I don't want to tread on Jesus's day.
He has not been announced for the festival yet.
Yes.
Though some of his
not
favorite bands certainly have.
Yeah, not yet. Okay. We'll figure out the day we're gonna do. Christina,
And then we will
send me-
announce it and let everybody know.
Yes, Christina, send me a DM about that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure that out. In any case, but we will be back.
Yes,
Yes, we
undoubtedly.
will be back. So we'll do a live stream at some point with Danny and I. We're going to talk about our top 5 picks for a Blue Ridge Rock Festival. I do also want to do, because Christina, you and I need to set this up. I do want to bring in at one point, we're going to do a live stream and bring in the mods from the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone, because we promised we will do this. Just, I've invited them to come to some of these and just never had the opportunities to get everyone on board, but we definitely need to do that. To bring everyone on board and have one of those, meet your moderators, the people who have been managing your posts in the Blue Ridge Rock Festival fan zone. It's important that you meet them and understand some of the hell that they have gone through this year with everything that's been going on, because if you don't appreciate them, you should. That's all I'm saying. You absolutely should. So but we'll definitely do that, and that'll be we'll come out and do that at some point. Hopefully, maybe we could do that next week too. And then Danny and I will plan out other topics that we're going to talk about during the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we're going to keep this train going and keep it moving. So with that in mind, thank you everyone once again. Thank you, Danny, as always, being here to help out. Thank you for inviting Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan, for attending. We appreciate you. And we will speak to everyone either soon. We'll get a post. I'll get a post up on the photo pit. On the Photo Pit Facebook page, and we'll figure it out. It's either Monday or Sunday. We'll figure out which one, but we'll be back soon.
Guys, thank you all for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Great time.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you.